Child, let me open up my wallet and see what I can scrape up.
This is for the IRS. I filed my taxes for free, but it wasn't really for free because I had to pay for it when I got to the end and got done.
So we filed our taxes. I got a phone call from our accountant's office today. Somebody filed their taxes and claimed one of our children on their taxes.
The Social Security just took my whole refund because my father passed away when I was 6 and I was on survivor benefits.
Tax season. Some people's favorite time of the year, might I add. Why is that? Well, it's probably because you're about to get some money. And oh, you got plans to do some fun stuff with that tax money. And while this is a happy time for a lot of people right now, many people are very upset in regards to taxes, and they can't stand tax season. I thought it's only fair to show those perspectives of everyone who's angry. And I need you to comment down below, do you love tax season or hate it?
This is for the IRS. I filed my taxes for free, but it wasn't really for free because I had to pay for it when I got to the end and got done. Then I got an email that it was rejected because I didn't fill out a PIN number of that I've never heard of, never had to do before. And so you're rejecting it for that I've never had to do and don't understand. And everyone's like, oh, why don't you pay somebody to do it for you? Pay them for what? I'm not getting back. So why am I going to pay somebody more money that I'm even going to get in a return? And if you're taking money out of my paycheck every week that I get one, you know how much you took out. So why is it up to me at the beginning of the year to figure out how much you took out and if you owe me something back? And if you didn't take enough out, why do I have to pay that to you when you should have just taken enough out? Someone please explain to me how it's legal, how it makes any sense, and why is it my responsibility? You're taking the money out. You tell me how much you owe me or how much I owe you. You tell me, and why would I owe you anything if you're already taking money from me?
And I'll be honest, I'm sure a lot of people are thinking the same thing. And I wanted to see what the IRS had to say about this, so I went onto their website. This is actually on apps.irs.gov. And it's an information sheet that gives the tax responsibilities and voluntary compliances and your role as a taxpayer. Now, again, this is according to the irs.gov website, not me. And it says here in lesson 3, the taxpayer's responsibilities. The taxpayer's responsibilities under the law are that taxpayers have to follow the following responsibilities. File a return. It also says if a husband and wife file jointly, each is equally responsible for filing. It goes on to state other responsibilities are obtaining forms and instructions and to provide complete and accurate information. And this is the part where it probably kind of answers her question. It says taxpayers are responsible for keeping and organizing their records on a regular basis. They are required to accurately report income and all other information requested on tax returns. It also says the responsibility of the people is to file on time, and it even gives instructions on how you need to file your taxes. And it goes on to talk about voluntary compliance, which is interesting because, and I'm just reading, y'all, it says the U.S. income tax system is built on the idea of voluntary compliance. This means that taxpayers are responsible for declaring all of their income, calculating their tax liability correctly, and filing their tax return on time. The IRS depends upon honest reporting. Their words, not mine. However, they conduct checks on tax reports to make sure that people are filing correctly. And if taxpayers fail to report correct information, they may be subject to penalties. Now, I don't make the rules. I just like to read every now and then. So I definitely will consult with a tax professional if you want to get some more insight on all of this, because I'm not one. I'm a blabbermouth. Nothing more that likes to talk about money related topics, but I digress. And it even has here April 15th marked on the calendar, which is the deadline for most people for taxes in the United States, unless there's some sort of extension or you've been authorized by the IRS. Again, talk to a tax professional about that, but this is what's on the website. And the word voluntary made me think to myself, what do you mean? Is it optional? So I needed some clarification. So where did I go? I went back to the IRS website, and actually, they go into more detail about this. And this might answer a lot of people's questions. It says here, the word voluntary refers to our system of allowing taxpayers to determine the correct amount of tax and complete the appropriate returns, rather than having the government determine tax for them. But this is the important part, y'all, and you gotta always read the fine print. And this is where a lot of y'all get caught up when it comes to stuff. It says the requirement to file an income tax return is not voluntary and is clearly set forth in the Internal Revenue Code. And this is the part that a lot of y'all got to pay attention to because y'all be skipping over stuff. But it says here on the IRS website, failure to file a tax return could subject the non-complying individual to criminal penalties, including fines and imprisonment, as well as civil penalties. And another thing that isn't discussed is that a lot of people are filing to get things back. Like in her case, she isn't, and it's a sad situation. Trust me, I understand. But some people are filing and getting a return back. So they don't mind paying, but it absolutely sucks knowing you ain't getting none back, having to pay, and you're probably thinking to yourself, I've been paying all year. How much more do you want from me? But I digress. And she said, IRS, I hate you. Pound IRS, pound taxes, pound tax returns. And I don't want no smoke with them, so I'm just gonna read these comments and keep it moving. This comment here says, we need to stop paying taxes. They said it, not me. Another comment says, tax when we earn, tax when we buy, and tax what we already own. And another comment says, heavy on the, you know how much you took out. I hate taxes. And this video here says at the top, everybody's broke right now, while also saying taxes are interesting. Am I the only one who had this realization? I wonder what he realized.
Growing up is realizing we do actually use that math they taught us in school. Y'all, I'm sitting here looking at this check and trying to figure out the taxes on it, how much money I'm gonna owe. And I realized that about 25% of this money goes to Uncle Sam. If you remember math in school, that's 1/4, 1/4, which means that if a year has 12 months, 1/4 or 1/4 of that year is 3 months. That means that for the first 3 months of the year, every year, I'm working just to pay Uncle Sam. We are all working just to pay Uncle Sam. We don't start making money really until about April. Now, most people get a W-2, the W-2 worker, so you get the pay stub and you see all the stuff.
Right.
They just spread that money out over time, but if you actually added it all up, you would realize that January through March, roughly, you working to pay Uncle Sam. You don't make nan dime until April.
And you know what? When you put it that way, yeah. And it's even worse if you're self-employed, especially if you don't actually put that money aside. For the people that are self-employed, content creators, business owners, whatever the case may be, you going through the year spending all of the money you got, no leeway, no wiggle room. Guess what? You're going to be trying to make something shake come tax season, because some people getting hit with 25% and the IRS is like, yeah, you was making all this money, 1099 worker, you wanted to be a boss babe, okay. They hit you with that 20 something percent. Where's the money? And people are paying like 30,000, 60,000, could be higher than that, 100,000. Just in taxes. And when you really think about it and how you make your money, it's like, wow, that actually is about 3 months. And as somebody who is self-employed, that's how I thought about it too. So I definitely get what he means.
That should be enough to make us sick. That should be enough to make us riot in the street. So right now, what's today? Today is February 17th. We ain't actually earning no money right now, contrary to what we might think. If you really look at how much money is going out, we're not even earning no money right now.
Well, we in March now. We ain't made it to May yet, or April. Am I working for free? Am I on the hamster wheel? It's okay. I'm gonna get it right though. I'm gonna get it right. And somebody said, and the billionaires pay nothing. Goodness gracious. Another comment said, you want to get angrier? You also pay taxes again on every purchase you make with your already taxed dollars. And a lot of people are upset because they feel like they're paying these taxes and they want it back in some form or fashion, but they just starting to feel robbed every time tax season comes, because some people was getting taxes back. Now a lot of them folks ain't getting it. They're like, I gotta pay? Now, I don't know what's going on, but it say livid on the screen. And over on the right, it says beyond pissed off, pound taxes, pound fraud, pound not sorry. And yeah, I said pound because I can. Y'all ain't gonna tell me how to talk. Anyway,
So we filed our taxes, and literally I got a phone call from our accountant's office today. Somebody filed their taxes and claimed one of our children on their taxes.
Now, I thought she was about to be like, I'm mad because I ain't getting enough money back. Somebody claimed your kids? Now, this is ghetto. Absolutely. Yeah. Who did it? And I got a suspicion it's somebody close. Because how did they get your kids' social? How does that even happen? Did their information get leaked in a data leak online? I feel like this is an inside job. Somebody in the family that was like, you know what? That tax credit for the kids this year look a little, I could use that. They ain't gonna notice. They gonna be all right. We family. You know that type of stuff family be doing. I digress.
Which means they have their social security number. Did that happen? I have no idea, but I will be contacting the IRS once I get all of this situated, and I will be finding out who it is, and we will be pressing charges. Because what the are you doing with my children's social security number, and why are you trying to claim them on your taxes when you're not the parent, and they sure as don't live with you? I'm not sorry. That's fraud. 100% fraud.
I just feel like it's an inside job. I don't know. I hope she gets her tax or the kids. I hope this whole thing gets fixed. And I need to know down below, is that common? Have any of y'all ever had your children's social stolen essentially and them being filed on somebody else's tax paperwork that you didn't know about and it just kind of caught you off guard? Y'all comment down below because that's crazy work. And what do you mean? Somebody comment down below. The IRS won't tell you who it was. It happened to me, and I had to send proof that I had custody of my child. They did reverse it. If both you and your husband are that child's parents, you'll have to send in both birth certificates. What in the world? Another comment says, it's highly probable that the individual in question is a close family member. See, that's what I was saying. Such as a grandparent, parent, sibling, or other immediate relative. Very interesting case there. Now that lady was mad about her kids, which I can understand. But this next video says, literally crying because I make so little money.
Hi, I was gonna do a story video where I eat my lunch and tell a story, but I'm upset. So I'm going to tell you what I'm upset about. I've been doing my taxes for me and my husband, and pretty much every year my husband makes like twice as much money as I make. And it's like, I didn't get into teaching and educating for the money. Obviously, nobody does. But just to live this year and to know like how much work I put into work. And then my husband, who also works very hard, but he's an engineer, and I work like a lot of Friday nights. I work a lot of Saturday mornings. I do a lot of tutoring. I do a lot of driving around. And it's like, I have to feel bad about the fact that I make so little money because I'm a part of a partnership where like I'm supposed to be contributing. And my husband's not upset with me. Like, he's a very wonderful person, but it just sucks. Like, it just sucks that I chose this field because it's my calling and it's also my passion. Like, it's the thing that I really care about, the thing that I really love. Like, I show up to work every day and I care about it. And my husband really cares about his job too, but they pay him so much more to care about it than they pay me. And it just sucks that like I'm in this women dominated field and I'm in this field that's helping children and helping people with disabilities who are these marginalized communities that matter so much. And it's just not, it's not sustainable for me. Like, I couldn't even have this job if I wasn't married. Sorry. I couldn't even have this job if I wasn't married to my husband who can support that I can go and make the world a better place. Anyway, it's just highly, highly upsetting. And I imagine a lot of women are in my position as well.
And I think she is really thinking about this because she says here, does doing your taxes make anyone else cry? Like, literally, how is it that I make so little money this year after working so hard? I'm literally halfway through my doctorate. It's just so hard. And honestly, when you do your taxes, it does make you think about a lot of stuff like, dang, this is how much I'm bringing in, or this is how much I'm not bringing in. And she's absolutely right. Her job is very important to the future generations. Like, I have nothing but respect for the teachers, but it also is a blessing that she is able to do something she is passionate about while still being able to be okay because she's married to somebody who is able to support them both and she makes less than her husband. But I can understand where she's coming from. Tax season does make you be like, dang. And then I be looking at the taxes like, they taking this, and this. Especially when I was younger, I used to ask my mom, like, what is all this stuff on here? And nobody could tell me nothing. They were just like, it's stuff you got to pay to the government. But I wanted to know line by line, what is this? Why are they not teaching this in class? I'm over here stressed out, all my money going to the government. I just want to know what's going on. It's like reading a whole nother language. Y'all talking in acronyms, abbreviations. It's too much.
So as y'all know, I am in a constant battle with the IRS. Y'all, it's tax season again. Look. Oh,
Federal due $5,702. And he got another $661 due. Oh my.
how could this happen? I don't got it. 5,000 and then another 600. Child, let me open up my wallet and see what I can scrape up. Look.
It's empty.
Waiting for something to appear. In it? I don't know. It ain't nothing in there. Well, I guess you're just gonna have to lock me.
Don't say that. In all seriousness, I do hope that he actually does have the $6,000 that he's gonna need to pay. And I know a lot of y'all are ducking the IRS right now, and I'm telling you, they call them the IRS, I call them the IR stress. Because the S stand for stress. Internal Revenue Stress System. Stress. Anyway, I made that up. That's not really what it stands for. That's not the acronym. They stress us out every year. I understand where he's coming from. And everybody that has to file, even people that are getting money back, be stressed about filing taxes. They're like, oh my gosh, I gotta file my taxes. I gotta be responsible. But I'm gonna get this little money back and I'm gonna be good after that. The whole process of filing taxes for many people is stressful. People trying to figure out how to use apps they ain't never used, looking at verbiage that they don't understand. They like, what is a 1099? What's a W-2, a W-9? What do you mean you need to, all these expenses? What do you mean expenses? You need everybody and their mom's social documents from the school. It's a lot. I did my taxes a few weeks ago and I felt like I needed a vacation, like 2 weeks off. I'm telling you, I was stressed and I had everything in order and I was stressed. And this comment here probably sums it up for a lot of y'all. It says, I'm so scared to file my taxes after owing $1,600 and took a whole year and 2 months to pay it off. Now, you might have not known better at the time, but I hope you learned from that situation and you at least got the money set aside this year. I'm hoping that for all of y'all. I don't want to see the stories of y'all getting online saying, I don't got the $7,000 for the IRS. And I went up to HR last year and told them, don't deduct nothing. I need all my money now. I know how to budget. I don't want to see those videos where y'all are like, oh, my tax lady ain't hook it up. I got to fire her. I got to find somebody else because she ain't give me enough money. And I went up to HR and told them, don't withdraw nothing. And now I'm mad that she can't get me $10,000. Actually, she should have got me $20,000. Make it make sense. Between the IR stress, the IRS, and some of y'all and how y'all be doing stuff, I can't keep up. It's a lot. Somebody said, seems like you got to go back to the YouTube videos. Hey, shout out to YouTube. And another comment says, constant battle. And it seems like they're winning. By them, they talking about the IR stress, aka the IRS.
I am begging someone to please make this make sense. How do we owe over $20,000 in taxes this year? We both work. They take taxes out of every single paycheck all year long. We pay taxes on everything we do all year. We pay taxes to go out to eat. We pay taxes to go on vacation. We pay taxes to go on a date. We pay taxes to frickin' breathe. And then at the end of the year, we have to pay taxes again. And somehow I owe more and with a penalty for not paying enough. I just don't understand. At this point, I kind of feel like, what if I just don't work anymore? I think that would be easier because I feel like I'm getting penalized just for working. But don't mind me. I'm just venting and pouting. I am begging.
How they hit her with the penalty already? I don't understand. Didn't tax season just start? I need to get some more information and knowledge because I'm actually interested to know. But if that's true, that's really sad. And I wonder, did she know she was going to get hit with that extra $20,000? Now, it's one thing if you're used to it and it's been a constant thing, like year after year, you're like, oh my gosh, we have to pay. And then every year you see that amount going up, but you're like, I never get nothing back. It was $15,000 last year. Now it's going to be $16,000 this year. Now it went from $17,000 to $20,000, whatever. Cool, right? But imagine if you were never used to that and you're just like, oh, I owe you $20,000 and I've been paying every month. So I didn't think I was going to owe y'all no money, but I owe y'all some money. And every situation is so different of why people end up owing, because some people have jobs where they get W W-2s, and then some people have 1099s. Some people have W-2 and 1099s where they're self-employed. Some people aren't paying enough taxes at their W-2 jobs. Some people are paying no taxes at their W-2 jobs, and they got 1099 stuff. So then it's just stacking up even more on the taxes that you owe the government. It's a lot. Which is why it's very interesting to see different perspectives on taxes. Some people are really happy about taxes, but then there are others that are mad. Tell me, which one are you? Are you one of the mad people, or are you one of the happy people? Because you're like, hey, I'm getting some taxes back, or I don't owe that much, so I'm okay. Somebody commented, girl, you need an LLC. Work towards a 1099 income because W-2 income is not it. And see, here's the thing. People say stuff like this, but it's also very dependent on a lot of other factors. 1099 work, it be all cool and dandy until you get hit with that self-employment tax that a lot of y'all don't know it's gonna come. And I was one of them people, 1099ing it up. And then IRS said, wait a minute. Oh, who you think you are? You think you gonna do this to me? I got something for you. It's all right. I'm gonna get you dope. Self-employment tax. Let me just show y'all. And I went back to the IRS website just for y'all because it says here, what is the self-employment tax? It says self-employment tax is a tax consisting of Social Security and Medicare taxes primarily for individuals who work for themselves, aka a lot of content creators. It's similar to the Social Security and Medicare taxes withheld from the pay of most wage earners. And it goes on to state for the self-employment tax rate that the self-employment tax rate is 15.3%. Now, this is according to the IRS website, y'all. And I'm not going to say that being self-employed as far as the IRS taxes and all this isn't a good idea or that it's a bad idea. I'm just saying a lot of people don't know how they will be taxed. It's not the same as when you're a W-2 worker and your employer is making sure that all these deductions are going out. Unless some of y'all go up to HR and you tell them you don't want no deductions. Like, what do you want them to do then? You up there like, it's my money, I need it now. And then when tax time come around, oh, the IRS $15,000. And you looking around like, how? Why? Nonetheless, when you're self-employed, you got to make sure that you are putting aside money for your taxes, or else the IRS is they might come knocking at your door. And I'm only saying this to bring awareness, y'all. Nothing wrong with entrepreneurship, but many people aren't good with putting aside money every month. They're not good with budgeting. So when tax time comes around for a lot of self-employed people, they're scrambling trying to get the money. They don't have it. They already spent it because they weren't considering the fact that they are responsible for putting aside the taxes. And if y'all are self-employed in the comments, please let them folks know. Please let everybody know that what I'm saying is absolutely true. Because we can use a testimonial.
I want to know what's really starting to irk my nerves.
What?
Every year around this time, I hear people talking about how much thousands they got on their taxes and all this and that and the third. But I never, for the past like 3 or 4 years, I have not gotten back on my taxes. And I don't understand why. Like,
you might not be overpaying. And a lot of people who are getting quote unquote refunds, y'all, it's in the name, tax refund. They gave it back. That was your money you gave to them. You overpaid, which is okay. Nothing wrong with that. That's your prerogative. Cool, because a lot of y'all, if you don't overpay, you'll owe and then you won't have the money because life is lifing and you don't put the money aside, which is fine. That's not a bad thing, though, to not get a refund. Depends on who you ask. I don't think it's a bad thing. Y'all comment down below. Let me know what you think.
I don't own a home. I don't have any, I haven't made money, self-employment. I haven't, I have 2 kids. You'd think that my dependents would help me get some money on my tax return, but it's they're not.
Now that's where I'm a little, even she's like, I thought, wait a minute, that gotta be wrong, right? And I'm no tax professional, y'all, no financial advisor. I'm just somebody that blabbers. But ma'am, how? What do you mean? What do you mean? Every mother that I've ever heard be like, I'm getting 6,000. Some of them getting 14,000. I ain't gonna lie. I'd be like, dang. And she said 2 kids. The mental math that I'm doing in my head, I don't understand how that's the case for her, honestly.
And I'm just really brokenhearted because I see all these people getting their tax returns and stuff like that. And I had plans on using mine to take my kids to Disney. I
can't make it up. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's always Disney. And ma'am, I am not sure what is going on with your taxes. Y'all know how I feel about always the Disney.
And I'm just really brokenhearted because, like, I see all these people getting their tax returns and stuff like that. And I had plans on using mine to take my kids to Disney. Like, my son's been asking about Disney, and now we don't get anything back. And I've trusted someone for the past, like, 5 years to do my taxes, and I really feel like she f***ed me over. So now I don't have, like, ever had my taxes. And I don't understand, but I'm so upset. Is anybody working at the IRS that can explain this to me?
And this don't make any sense because she could call the IRS and it's like, do you make a lot of money? And is your kids in real life? They're not imaginary kids, is it? Like, they're real kids with a real social. I'm perplexed, to say the least. I hope she's able to do what she's trying to do with her taxes, but 5 years with the same person and getting bad results, it might be time to move on. It might be time to close that chapter. For 5 years, you didn't get something you thought you were supposed to get. I'm pretty sure the tax lady is getting paid. But then again, some of y'all be going to folks because they're nice. They said they could help me. I don't know. They said they could hook me up. I wish her well, though, because that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, rare experience. Let me know if anyone else is dealing with this. But apparently I had health insurance all 2025. I had no idea. No idea. Thought I canceled it. But allegedly I was signed up for 2 different ones. What? And, so I thought I got a pretty good, tax return this year. I was very excited. I worked very hard this year.
Right.
And to find out that half of it's half of it's being taken away because of that health insurance that I didn't know that I had. This might be my fault for being stupid, but I'm just so frustrated because that's a lot of money that now I'm not gonna have, even though I worked really hard for it. And I never even got to use the insurance, too.
What do you mean? I wonder, was she getting some sort of government subsidies? And because of that, that's why her taxes are being taken from her? It's a very interesting situation that she had. Has that ever happened to anybody down below? Because it sounds like she was double insured, but perhaps the government was the other insurer, if you get what I mean. I don't know. Very interesting. So many people expecting their taxes and then they're just like, nope, this weird situation happened. I ain't getting it now. And here's another one. This one says my whole refund got took for losing my dad. Well, this is already off to a bad start. Tragic start.
The Social Security just took my whole refund because my father passed away when I was 6 and I was on survivor benefits, and they overpaid my mother when I was 6 years old, or whatever the hell. When I was a minor, they overpaid my mother, who was in charge of all my money. I never seen my money, my checks. I never knew that I was even getting paid for losing my dad. So now, after I've been working 15 years of my life, I am 30 years old. I have got my refund every year. I've paid my taxes every year. And you take my whole refund. The biggest refund, might I add, that I've ever had. And there's no remorse. I just get told because my mother took care of me with the money that they sent, I'm responsible for paying it back. Granted, this was over 15 years ago. What is going on? And am I even going to get it back if I'm trying to fight this? Are they even going to give it back? Am I just screwed? That was my car money. I'm a working mom. I'm a working wife. I'm the main provider of my family. Like, what is happening? Why is this happening? I really just want to know, how is this legal? How are you able to make a child pay for their parents' mistakes?
I want to know too. And apparently, she's not the only one. Someone said this happened to my son-in-law and he appealed it and got all the money back. Why is this happening in the first? This is happening? Oh, goodness gracious. This is horrible. I've actually never heard of anything like that. I would think, if anything, the mother would be the one who might have to pay back the IRS if she was getting the actual money being overpaid. As she said, her dad was 6 when she passed away, so she didn't get the money. But, they get paid for the children. That's just messy. Oh my. Oh, goodness.
I cannot help whatever my mother got, whatever she did when I was a child. I cannot help that. I was a child who lost her father. So now I feel like the government is making me pay for losing my dad. Make it make sense. Literally, make it make sense. At this point, I'm so in the hole, I might as well make a GoFundMe just to get a freaking car. Because apparently, the government hates me that I've been working for 15 years.
You know what? I don't usually say and be like, yeah, do a GoFundMe. A lot of people be doing fraud. They be scamming on GoFundMe with the sob story, with the lie. But if what she's saying is true, if it's not able to be reversed, what do you mean she gotta pay for that? Like, how many years do you think she was getting paid for the loss of her dad through her, well, actually, her mom was getting paid that. You know how many years of debt that might be? I'd be like, well, I might at least need to get me a lawyer, get about this mess or something. Oh my, I hope she's able to fix that. That's horrible. Now that is a really strong, legit reason to be mad about your taxes. Everybody had different reasons in this video that they're upset about taxes in some way, some form, or fashion. But this one, so I lose my dad and my tax refund, and I'm just supposed to be cool with that? Oh, no. And she said she's a mother. She has her own family. Bless her soul.
I'm trying not to be like a complaint. Having the biggest crash out today because I'm sick. And then I get a letter in the mail.
I know this about to be bad because it says at the top, my tax refund gets garnished like I owe child support or something. Shout out to all the baby daddies. Too soon. It's still tax season. I'm sorry. I come in peace. You know what? Let me play the beat.
Okay, every year my tax refund gets taken because I went to school for I didn't even graduate college, thank God, because I didn't want any of those student loans. But I went to a school in Denver for 1 semester or 1 year. I can't remember, when I was 19, when I was still trying to figure out what the to do with my life. And I guess I didn't know what I was doing. I was a kid. I literally didn't apply the student loans to my actual balance. So I ended up just having this outstanding balance now that's just been there. And I feel like I don't even know how much it is. But literally every year they take away my refund. And honestly, I haven't really cared about it up until now. The system is so stupid. College is so stupid. It's literally so stupid. It's a scam. I'm just I literally gained nothing from that. I didn't get a degree. Didn't get they're over here taking how much, who even knows how much it's been so far. Oh my God. I think I'm gonna rob a bank today.
Now, ma'am, you so stressed. I had to rewind it back because I thought I was seeing stuff. You peeling back your eyelashes. The IRS got you IR stressed that much. Ma'am, put it back. I'm not playing with you. Why y'all do like this? You already ain't getting no tax refund. You're gonna mess your eyelashes up and you're gonna need a new set. That's more money. Stop it. Flag on the play. Actually, let me go to the comments. Someone said being an adult is hard. I went to Kaplan when I was 17 and I understand. Kaplan University? Didn't they had all those infomercials about? I think that was it. And I'm glad she's talking about the fact that, yeah, even people who had student loans are getting their stuff garnished. I did many videos last year talking about the student loan garnishments and that a lot of people's stuff was getting taken out their taxes. A lot of people were like, oh, I'm not going to report anything to the IRS. I'm going to work under the tables. And I told y'all there wasn't going to be enough of y'all selling cakes, washing cars, doing odd jobs, mowing lawns for it to work, because y'all all would have been out there competing with each other. So the job that you actually gave your Social Security to when you went and signed up at HR and did all of that stuff, they already know about you. They know how much you got coming in, and they already peeped you out. The IRS already found you off of your social, and they're just gonna go take that stuff. All the HR professionals, tell them down below. I be trying to tell them, they don't be listening anyway. And the same goes for a lot of people who own student loans, because you're gonna go work a job and then they're gonna garnish your pay. It's happened to many people I know. It's just something to think about, y'all. Because a lot of people, they start making plans for their tax refunds before they even get it all for it to get garnished. Because there is a loan that you owe. There's somebody you owe a debt or something. And then when your stuff gets garnished, you're like, oh my gosh, I was expecting that $6,000, that $10,000, whatever the case may be for your situation. And it may not come simply because you owe debt. And I'd hate to see anybody's hopes get up, or you start spending money on credit cards or something like that because you thought your taxes were coming, and they're not. They're not coming because you owe debt. And that's another thing. It's dangerous to spend money before you actually have the money in hand. Like when you start making plans for money that you don't have, dangerous, y'all. And I want to see y'all doing well. I come in peace. I swear. And this next video says, the IRS really hates single people with no kids. He said, look, he mad because look, they doing my good bro in. And yeah, it actually does seem that way. I'm not even gonna lie. I can understand where y'all coming from. Because he said at this point, he needs an emotional support dependent. The top comment says, pisses me off every year because they take everything from your check and they still say that you owe. Some of y'all need to go to HR just to be on the safe side. Hopefully you don't have no problems next year. And somebody commented, penalized for being responsible is diabolical. Yeah. I ain't gonna get into the rest of the conspiracies in the comments, but I'm sure y'all know what it says.
Tell me why I did my income tax last week, right?
Right.
When I tell you I'm so embarrassed, I'm literally so embarrassed and so upset, y'all.
I'm assuming because it says that you're getting $76 on your refund? What's embarrassing about that?
I'm only getting back $76 on my tax refund. $76. Not $100, not $150, $76. And mind you, y'all, I had 2 W-2s. I got 2 W-2s, right? But my dumb behind only filed for one of them, right? And I tried to file for the other one too, right? Like probably like a couple days later or a week later, right? And somebody had told me I can't do that. Like you can't file your W-2s at 2 separate times. You got to do it together, right? So I ended up filing for the one they took the least money out of my checks, right? And the other one they took the more money out of, I didn't file for that because I didn't know. So I'm only getting back $76.
She must be a teen. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm hoping she's a teen because where is the guidance? Didn't know whose family member is this and why y'all didn't square her away. I'm not even mad that you don't know what you don't know. My question is, why don't she know what how old is she? It would make sense. You 19, why would you know that? Why would you know that? If this ain't your first rodeo though, who is the tax preparer? And honestly, even with all the stuff that she's saying, it's not bad that you only getting back $76. That means that you kept a majority of your money and you could steward it however you want. You didn't just give it to the government as an interest-free loan and then they gave it back like, here you go. That's one way you could look at it. Or you could be like, I wanted to get $10,000 back. That means you overpaid $10,000.
So now I gotta wait all the way 2027 to file for the one that I should have filed.
Yeah.
When I tell you, I'm so mad because I could have used that money and I don't have no kids. So I'm putting like head of the household, single, like no dependents, no nothing. I'm embarrassed. And mind you, y'all, last year I ain't filed. So I'm looking forward to this year income tax. What am I gonna do with $76?
We talked about this at the beginning of the video, so I'm gonna leave it at that. But
somebody please tell me what I'm gonna do with something. That's my phone bill money right there. Tell me why.
And another thing is, I'm no tax professional, so if y'all do anything like what she's saying, go seek the proper counsel from the professionals. But I've done amendments even on my taxes before. One time I put my name on there the wrong way. I'm gonna say I did it just because, but it wasn't anyway. The name wasn't right on the taxes and it got amended. And that's why you go sit down with a professional. Now, some of y'all online putting in stuff and you don't know what you're doing, might not be a bad idea to go sit down with somebody. Might cost you some money, might not be free, but might be able to help her out some. But I hear what she's saying, but I think this is a fixable issue. She made an honest mistake. And comment down below, do you owe taxes this year or are you getting a refund? Regardless, I hope that you are in a financial position to where you actually have the money to pay on your taxes or you have some good plans for that refund because we got to start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.